Just comes in.
Huh?
I was wondering, it was like.
Yeah.
On the table, I'll kick
We
you.
have Suya, Jonathan, and.
If you put your head right down.
Okay. Very good.
Me, but I want.
Well, why don't we get started?
You're good. It doesn't look like it's sleepy.
No.
It
It does not. Oh, it's almost like wisteria or something.
does.
One thing I want to do is add another one of those to down there.
Yeah, I agree.
That'd be great. They're not that expensive.
Huh?
How's everybody doing this evening?
Good, how are you, John?
Good.
Okay,
He looks like he's somewhere fun.
I know.
I know it's somewhere, no doubt about that. Okay, first order of business is to approve minutes from February 7th and the 21st.
So moved.
Second? In favor?
Aye.
Okay, department reports. There's a few people missing because they have some other things going on, but first thing I did, Ben sent me an email and I put in the drive a report from the County Chamber of Commerce. It came in at like
I was gonna say, when the
4:30.
heck? Often enough.
I know.
It was 4:30. And I didn't get it until I got here because, well, I had to go to that fire, so.
Yeah, I guess that's a good reason.
Also, doesn't let you sort them by order.
I put it,
No, that's not your fault. That's just.
It's a Google thing.
but it's there if you want to reference it, go ahead and look at it. You knew it was late and apologize for that. You wanted to get something, it wasn't in a normal cycle like this. I wanted to get that to you. Okay, well, Cindy, she on?
Yes.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, good evening. Okay, okay, let's see. All right, I want to start with my report, and the first thing I'm gonna go over is the exemptions were all in, and if someone did not apply or renew their exemption, then they were sent a letter that they were gonna be dropped for the 2024 assessment roll. Also, the permits are all in and everything has been valued. And I'm real close to finishing this roll. And I should be done within another week or so. We put in the special franchises were entered and they were equalized. And I'm waiting for the county to approve what was entered for the roll. And the telecommunications the next. And we're waiting for the railroad sailings to come in. They still have not come in. There was a big increase. I know you guys are not Rensselaer Falls, but there was like a 1,800% increase in Verizon for Rensselaer Falls because of the FiOS. The FiOS was installed over there, and they got there's a big increase. So that's good news for Rensselaer Falls. I shared with you about my land valuations and the solar and wind appraisal model and how there's 4 scenarios for valuation, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. And also the data collection, I continued with that, and I was on Judson Street Road. I finished with that this week, and I started on I went back onto the town road now, and I'm going back and forth right now, and trying to get that wrapped up. And I'm getting the ad went in the paper for a part-time assistant for me, so I keep through the summer for May, June, July, and July, August, and September, and hopefully I could get the rest of this data collected for the town and the villages. That's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Anything for Cindy?
No.
No, thank you,
No.
Cindy.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, The historian, she's not here. And she's not online. And, let's see. Superintendent, why don't we go to you? But you wanna wait? Okay.
He's excited.
Who's back on the road?
This is really about the cause of ATL Con.
Okay,
So.
So one of the
that
guys-
finished up last week.
yeah, I saw one of the guys from there, from ATL today, but wasn't involved, wasn't sure.
So they're all set there. So that's good.
They didn't say how long a report will take, did they?
Probably the only thing I have to add on to this. If you guys have any questions on that, which of trainings and stuff coming up.
You, also did did you publicize your pickup? Okay,
Yeah.
then maybe,
Yeah.
if I saw what you put sent out, it has gone out, okay.
I saw him.
We have a lot of people calling about it, so it's
How long are we running?
1 month.
A month? Well, no, pickup.
No.
But how long are we running the information?
Information on paper.
Just the
They
one
just do an
time?
information. One time.
Probably
I'm
run
sure
it
if it
out
lasts long,
and
you get through everything.
I wonder if we
every dog or
really,
something.
yeah, that might be a good idea. I would think. I
Yeah,
know
maybe in
we
the
put
middle
this
of April,
information
say,
out.
2 weeks left.
Right, something
Let-
like
So
that.
people saying, oh.
Certainly,
Or not.
that's some of the feedback I hear. Well, I don't know when this is happening, and, I know we can only do so much, but maybe if we try, a little bit more.
Did you wanna talk about the water now?
You want me to do that now or? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm proposing that to kind of get our water meter replacement program up and going quicker. It started a year ago. And with door hangers, that kind of thing, guys were just spreading around. And we just weren't getting a lot of people. Most people were costing the gas. Basically, the door hangers were that related to the guys who update the water meter. And that's our end cash register, so to speak, but it's also our way of knowing how much water is being used, how much water is in the system, and water going out. So this is an attempt also to get these numbers closer. I can find out how much we're actually using in the system, through pipes and. So the board has it right now, and basically it's a letter that we're going to send out, and I think we're going to do targeted neighborhoods. This is the way the routes are laid out. We can see who has some newer meters now. Maybe there's only a handful that don't. So we're going to send this letter to them. It's basically going to say that there's going to be a quarterly non-compliance fee of $50. Please make an appointment to have this replaced. Contact our office and schedule an appointment. There's no charge for this to any of the residents. It's something we take care of ourselves, and we're trying to, we're keeping it Monday through Thursday because the guys will be going on the 10s and as early as 6:30 to 3 p.m. And I put some pictures on there of what some people have on the side of their house
Good
now,
idea.
what to look for to try to help us out.
Mhm.
Also, we're not expecting, I don't care if everybody just calls us, we'll go look, but getting access is the biggest thing, we have a problem. Obviously, with home and or they're just not sure why we're there or we're doing this. This is just another attempt at trying to streamline this.
Now, for everybody that's wondering, this is replacing the meter, but it's so that we can read it by radio. And we don't have to physically go and have to touch anything inside the house and use it. We can come to a neighborhood and just download it. Much more efficient.
Right. So we're also updating the software as well. That's probably going on for 6 months. And so getting more of these radio reads out there, and then the software is gonna be more efficient. We'll have more data as we drive through neighborhood, it'll actually flag residents as they're driving through and saying high consumption. That kind of thing.
So Nipsey's done.
Yeah, I mean, for example, not using this, but with walking around, you guys had decent reads within last week. Wow, that seems awfully high. So they give us a call, recognized how to get out, and we knew who it was. We got a hold of them and talked to them about it. And they had a toilet running, and they run hundreds of thousands of gallons.
Oh.
They weren't there. So they didn't know it.
Mm.
But this would actually we would probably know this even sooner
Mhm.
in this instance with new upgraded software and the ability to read it. And it's gonna, right now, we spend a few weeks doing this. We want to get this streamlined so it's
Mhm.
less than a week. And we're doing something more for them. This is right there, the larger supply line.
Just saying.
What do you think about this approach?
I think it's good. I think the pictures are great. You know, that some people need a visual. Mhm. I mean, do you still have to hit some people?
You okay for him to proceed? Okay.
And there's other communities doing this too. So, several other.
You were dreaming at one night?
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing that was in the drive was a report from Barton LaJudas about where progress they're making. We will have a report. They will attend our meeting next month. Give us a detailed report where they are, just so that we get a regular update from them, not just in writing. The survey work going on now.
Yes, fire station, I know they're down there and talking about them.
ATL is doing the drilling. They've been awarded the contract for the drilling. So, you know, it's progressing and we get a much better update on what's going on with that next month.
So April 17.
Yes.
And they've submitted some grant. So,
Oh, yeah,
or submitted for some grant.
we're
They're
keeping busy.
they're
with
Yeah,
that.
I think
moving
there's another.
Yep.
So I just wanted to, you know, add that into what his report. Any questions for okay. Yeah.
The thing I wanted to add to my report is latter part of 2023, New York State put out list of services, put out an opportunity for a grant for technology for law enforcement agencies. So we submitted paperwork for the body cameras. We purchased which this repair. Looking at new action cameras, unofficially in the last couple of weeks, it looks like every agency is going to get one. That has not been official. That's right.
Shows yeah. I imagine that the technology since 2020.
Yeah, all the batteries are not very good. I mean, there's other issues with all the agencies. It's not like there's one. Axon seems to be about the best. Motorola bought out. Taking care of What's your question?
Questions for Jim? Okay, thank you. Paul. Welcome back. There's things out there.
Exceptionally good shape. gas is actually green and growing.
Good, we'll see if that continues.
Yeah, might be slowing down a little right now, but.
I haven't talked to Scott much, he's been busy moving into his house. We're planning on trying to get open first week of April. I've been in contact with WWY for the TV community.
Great.
You can receive more image.
Yeah, it's all about. But I tell you, I'm shocked that people have played on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're out there thinking.
Some of the people don't even know who they are, I've never seen them.
So you're gonna do some research on carts?
Well, I just finished all the golf carts and went through every single one, find out what was anything wrong before we said.
Mhm.
6 that need a couple of things. Cars or something, I did all the times. One car, I kept the pressure at 22 pounds, so it'll run more efficient. All the pressure in the tire. So now I'm all 22. Did all the batteries, put all water, distilled water down. So, you're not in pretty good shape. 30 of them, I believe, the lease is up at the end of the year. And next year, 15 more electric cars, 2 gas cars. I've been talking to SAC sales out of lithium battery. They're all for lithium batteries. I don't know if it's gonna be that good or not, I don't know. You know, down south, we're gonna be cheap on lithium batteries. It's the charging part. Because this is actually the second year of lithium batteries. And they're only one. I'll see.
How's you using good batteries? It's one of the big problems with lithium. Some of the
Well,
questionable sources for lithium batteries.
the batteries we have now, we only have 3 of them. We have 5-year lease. Like, as much as we can. I wanted a 5-year warranty on lithium.
Yeah.
So does the storage,
Well, that's another. Well, Scott's done a nice job buttoning up the downstairs.
Okay.
Actually, it's quite warm down there, it's probably 50 degrees. All in. So, I think they'll be fine. I think you have
I just don't quote him.
But the other issue, I'm not sure on the power that we have coming into the building. Is sufficient enough to charge 50 lithium batteries. So-
Well,
But,
certainly a question.
but I actually believe that normal batteries right now in cars still go 54 volts before they need to be fully charged. So I think with these lithium batteries, they can probably go another round to go the next day before they have to be charged.
Sort of another one.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Okay. Stay tuned.
Okay. Any other questions for? Thank you.
The only other thing is, trying to get the numbers for the advertising budget. So I'd like to start advertising the new people. And they'll give me for June 1st.
One of the pay people. It's like, for this fiscal year. It's going on this year.
It's
budget this year.
I can tell you.
Well, the last time I asked, I think there was 5,000.
WWNY is gonna give you 57 spots. It'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're gonna have to do 1 time for the entire house.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Economic development. Hey, Lee, how are you?
I don't
homework, to my report, and also that, you mentioned that. For small business grant program and setting another deadline, we still have some funding available. We didn't put any applications for the deadline, it's, reached out to people who have received the application who haven't been it to us yet and have received one application. We do still have funding left. So we continue to push some people say, comments. But, on that one. I think it's really on time. I see you.
Yeah, we'll do a little update in the old business. Joining.
Questions.
Anything for Lee? Lee, thank you. Okay, recreation. Ice is out. Yeah, okay.
In my mind, winter's over.
Dr. Ice was out this morning by 10:30.
It's good.
Village Chief Event came down, Town Highway came over and about that. The third year in a row, Town Highway's since, he was in the water and before down in Bobcat, so it's working along with it. So our last day of ice rink was Sunday. Sunday night and took it out swim. And then some planning, some program planning. We do. I can talk about some programs started. A lot of regulations with it. So I'm hoping this will be a lot of it, you know, that community's been back and forth a lot. There's obviously the key programming will depend on budget and we've got two names and two guys. So we gotta work together and figure out. Lifeguards, so we got our lifeguard inventory kind of put together on the turners. John posted last week, for new lifeguards. The school pool, new school pool is supposed to be ready in time for 2 months. So everything goes well. Elizabeth is coming back.
Oh, great.
2 months and 48. Excited to use the new pool and see how it goes. And then, we use recognition public sale. I started that last year. We made an annual thing. That's set for Saturday, June 18th. That was a huge success last year. We had about half the arena floor full of used rec equipment, everything from golf clubs and soccer balls and skis and cleats and by the end of the day, about 90% stuff. So, a couple of them were. Chosen by my recreation community group. Seemed like a really good weekend and we watched it out and but yeah, that's our real estate is sponsored this year. It's really nice. All the agents come and they volunteer and they help us do it all. And a lot of especially the setup. 6-year-old get all fancy clothes, so it's very dollar sign fabric. I already booked her again, but they did $1 sign. But other than that, you know, it's kind of a transition time. So the weather kind of clears up. We're going to do projects inside and everything's done.
And there's no about the girl. Yeah, meeting sentiments. Yeah, but he's seen a lot of things going on. Questions? Okay. Thank you. Clerk.
Well, I just did one, we passed a local law authorizing the tax levy override, with override. And I'll be sending that more. Not necessarily confusing.
Any questions for Sally? Okay, code enforcement is not here. They have a commitment report. I do know that in his report that he's mentioned about 71 in it's part of the process. It's put them up, and it's to cite them, and takes a period of time for that to work its way through.
That was my question. What he's written in this report is the next step to what he wrote in his last report, correct? We're not
The
still
way I
waiting.
understand it, yeah.
Okay.
Because I've
Okay.
I've talked to him and we've had conversations about other pursuing change. You know, they did not get the proper variances or permits. So not just a spelling.
No.
There's a process that he's going through. He has to follow. So I guess I can understand. The treasurer isn't here. She's preparing for trip that she's taking. But you have her report. I think it highlights good. The finance committee will have some information to us for our meeting. I think we should be back. Some policies for us to review and possibly implement our next monthly meeting. These are the kind of policies that the comptroller was interested in making sure were in writing, very clear. We have been doing a number of things to make sure that the standard needs to be met. And then dog control. Because I think at least not everybody understand. Give a report. Okay, I need a motion to accept reports.
So moved.
Report. Second? In favor? Opposed? Committee reports. I know that. Meetings. Who wants to go first?
I can go. Shared services met, to have an initial go around on shared services contracts. Most of them, we just need to change some dates and changes. We're gathering some information on 2, I think there's 7.6 total, and 2 we have to get some additional information. Both sides telling us. Nothing happens. We should have it, our goal is and I would just say sustainability. We provided, thanks to Tim, some information to Jen Cleary at NEPA for I haven't heard anything from her. She's trying to feed cats, a lot of people, but very helpful. And appreciate what she's doing. The hard work. I think you all saw folks here tonight, but that the middle school green team is actively working to get inform people about composting. Yep, you can do it. If you don't subscribe, this is why you should, to see our kids at work. That's a great thing for you, enthusiastic. The green tea is fantastic. And Megan's. And in addition, Suna has been working hard to get the CE.
Clean Energy
Clean Energy
Community.
Community, CEC,
They're
not,
too many
there's
acronyms.
too many acronyms. There's too
Yeah.
close. So the Clean Energy Community, we could be, it's a points, it's a game. You do certain things, you get points, and then you're eligible for grants. And we're at a little bit of a tipping point where we can be eligible for a much bigger grant. So she's been working with this benchmarking in a particular, which they've been collecting the data. Sally helped, Shannon helped. Okay. The new Meg. Helped. And so hopefully we'll be able to check that box. And so there's a lot of moving parts, but there's a lot of things we can do. So, it moves us up to the next category. Perhaps buy some equipment. So that's all for continuous.
I'm a all battery observer.
Oh, okay,
So
right.
can you come up later? No, sorry. I can't say we're gonna have that.
I was gonna say,
You can.
well, I see.
No, well,
But he could drive. He could drive.
Still fun.
people can see it. It's on this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, and that's potentially what we could buy with this grant. So it's always good to have that information.
Something more, stuff you have, more
Yes.
functioning.
Right, it not only is it the grant paying for us to get this equipment, getting the equipment means we get more points, which means you're eligible.
That's not.
Yeah,
Well, there's a reason. Right? Well,
I think, well, right, it's like when you use it.
Okay.
I think that's it. For now, at least I'll try that again if I.
We're meeting again soon.
Yeah, we haven't had a recommendation. April 15th, yes.
And that's at noon.
That's at noon.
It's a good thing, because I can't do that. So this is. Yeah, and we're gonna be
Go ahead.
budgeting it.
Huh?
We're gonna budget it up. Good time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, but it will happen before,
Website training is happening. It was quite the, process to, get that calendared, but we're there. So, a smaller group of us are going to do a couple of, 90-minute trainings, and, hopefully that will be adequate for us to sort of get things where they need to be able to launch the website. We're aiming for May 1. And then, after that, there will be another training for everybody who may need to, have access to edit a page or whatever, but who otherwise wouldn't necessarily be doing, so that way, not everyone has to sit through 3 hours. So that's coming up next month. You have leaves required, if there's anything else to add to economic development. Mention, community choice aggregation. There's something later on the agenda, but just to speak right now, because we are going into another bidding, process, there is a mandatory, public education meeting that will be happening a week from today, Wednesday, the 27th at 5:30. here.
Did you see
Yeah.
No,
Janice? Well, it came, I just saw when I sat down here, the thing,
oh, good. I mean,
she goes, so I don't know,
That's
so I
fine.
don't know how
I
that,
don't need that.
yeah, it's nice to get that off the counter, but
It's all good.
she said no suppliers had requested to show a demonstration or discuss any additional questions they have on it.
Great.
So we still have to have that.
Yes, yes, it's,
Just
everything
making-
is still, that was, yes, and there are additional, calls that, you know, are scheduled to inform us about, pricing and, for the, and then there's the final. So, all to say, 5:30 to 6, public education meeting here next Wednesday. Yes. And also the mayor and I have been working on contract negotiations with the DPW.
They are proceeding.
They are proceeding.
Any committees? Good. I have nothing under communications and information or business. 64 Main. I think we're within a couple of weeks, 2 weeks or so.
It's what they told, I think I forwarded.
You mentioned that. So the contractor that is, take that down is within a couple of weeks.
And it can come off.
Yes, yes. You know, some of that stuff just hangs around a long time,
Oh, it's okay.
but that's
Do we,
where we're at.
do we know about how long we expect that process to take?
I don't think it's gonna take very long once you get going. The one thing you have to do is abate whatever is special.
Right.
Then after that, it'll go. It'll go really. It'll take them longer to pull up the slab.
So we'll probably block off.
Use the upper part.
Right,
Plenty
that's-
of parking.
I was gonna say.
okay, at this point, there's no shortage.
You don't have to pay anybody for it.
No,
So that's where, that's about where we're at. Within the next few weeks.
Yes.
Windows.
It's the 180 degrees from living time.
right.
Yes, the window fashion. Love it. Way to get with your
It
aggression.
could be a fun.
Bring your own rock.
Oh. Yikes.
Okay, 19 minor, ATL has been through there, as you heard, I think Tim say it's done the other day. Now, the next step is a report on what we have to deal with in there. The other thing is we have worked on an RFP. And I'm not sure where we're at with that. I know has Lenore seen it yet? Okay, so we're going to get that, see if we can't get that one. Okay. The DMV road test request. I have called him, I've talked to him, couldn't talk today because he was busy. So I tried him a couple of times, trying to was tough, the supervisor. I'm gonna send him a map where we want to consider. I'm gonna circle it.
There we go. So the,
I'm gonna put a sign up and everything.
so does it. I do think that I'm this. I was, it feel earlier this week, it's a lot of space.
Oh, yeah. But at any rate, they asked to go there when they moved, so it's not like they didn't have a choice. That's where we're at with that. Hopefully I'll have more on that soon. New York Forward, I just wanted to report that, Lee had in her report about New York Forward. We did meet with, a couple of members. Steve, representative from the Department of State, and we walked the area, containment area. We had a chance, they wanted to review it again. At the same time, I had submitted a list of potential members for the local planning committee that will be charged with producing a plan that's sent off to the state. It's been publicized for the open call for projects. Every project in our application would, I guess, basically have to reapply. But there'll be a lot more information coming out. These meetings will be open to the public. It'll be much like a meeting that we have here, that will be an opportunity for the public at some point in the meeting. Lee, is there anything else that we can add to that for the time being?
I think so,
Yeah. No, I haven't. They have a timeline of about 9 months. It could be a little bit longer. Maybe a monthly meeting that we would have to, that I would have to attend. You're all welcome. It's, will be announced meetings. Certain people will be considered staff support. That's where we would need staff support. And the board members may come in. Barb's been going place at Annie based on availability. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Any questions right now? Anybody have any? Next item is the Canton Potsdam Housing Authority merger. Barb asked some questions that probably were on everybody's minds, and I think we answered them appropriately just to make sure we were all square on this. Before we get into this and we decide to move forward, Potsdam has already been. I just wanted to make sure that you all understand, and this is for transparency purposes. Our attorney Scott represents Housing Authority, Potsdam Housing. He is comfortable with this resolution the way it's written, but I want the board to know that as we move forward, there may be some other contracts that come about that we're going to have to look at and improve. We might have to take advantage of other legal advice. Just so you know.
And you would just also.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he is, Scott has been very open with me about this. I just wanted to say this to everybody so we're all on the same page in public. That representation is there. For any reason you think something needs to be reviewed another way, we'll go another way and have it reviewed. Scott doesn't look at that as that's the way it should be. Right. So,
And not just for transparency, since you want to make sure that you're getting the right advice.
so we will, going forward, we may need more advice, and there's a lot more work to be done. It's going to take some time for this to be. But I think in the long run,
There are only like one or two other examples in the state.
right now there's one. I think there may be a couple, maybe another one that's in the process. So it takes some time.
I mean, I don't know how much you've had to be involved with that kind of, because they're the ones driving the bus. Is that right? Would you say? Okay. I was just gonna say, like, what it, in all reality, what power does the village have? I mean, we appoint, right now, we appoint the people to the board. The mayor does.
Right.
The mayor appoints them. We don't have any other, like, or I'm not aware of any other, just power, but authority to control what they do. I mean, I just like the intersection of all these things. Through the, but we appoint them, we can't.
But they don't answer.
They don't answer to us.
Once
don't
they're
report
appointed.
to us. once we don't get any report from them, or?
They can.
I don't know.
We can ask them to send minutes of their meetings, but
They don't have to.
we don't have any authority or control over them. Once they're appointed, and it's just like when they decide who they're gonna appoint as their executive director, they do that. And when complaints would come to me, I have no power to do anything other than to refer them on and let the board know that there's been. We have no authority over them.
So that's where, like, going forward, what else, I mean, what would we be? I mean, I guess this is, nobody knows.
We wanna make sure, right now we have some pilot payments. We wanna make sure that continues.
But so my question is, what would the mechanism be for us? Say it wasn't gonna continue. I mean, what mechanism or power do we have to stop that?
Really, I mean, we right now, there was legislation that created this, laid this out, state level. And there will be legislation that allows this to happen. The merger to go through.
No, just to put me.
In the definition, how that legislation develops will decide on, how we appoint people to that board. The village board would expect to be able to appoint a couple of people to the board. Would expect Poston to be able to do the same thing. That would be spelled out in the legislation. We did a little research on it. And talked to NICOM about it. They did look up some things to make sure we were all.
Do you think we could get a copy of the legislation that will have to choose?
Well, I think that will be all part of the process that they use as they go forward.
I just meant for our.
Mike, is it about the same agreement like we would have with the fire department? I mean, we don't have much say over what the fire department does, correct? Or am I misunderstanding?
Understanding, we have a lot to say over the fire department.
Okay, so we do have a lot to say.
It's not, no, we do, it's a village department. It's a lot different, so, and it's all in the process of how the legislation is developed and how the merger goes about. And I think that that's where it's important, and as that comes together, we're gonna have to approve some of that. But we have to prove that this starts in that direction.
So that's what, can I, were you finished, Barb?
Well, the more I think, the more I talk, the more, but go ahead. Why don't, I think it's someone else's turn.
So this is where, this is providing a point of challenge for me, because I look at this resolution and it looks to me like we're saying, yep, we're good to go. And we'll do whatever HUD says and HCR. And well, like you, I think representation will be important. So I would, like, how do we know we're gonna get that if we sign this now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like the cart's before the horse here.
Well, the process has to start. And if we're not on board to start the process.
I
Okay,
think
well then-
everybody's, I shouldn't speak for anybody else. I'm on board to start the process, but right in there, it does say, we agree to complete all merger actions required by
Yeah.
HUD. What if they say no Canton
Representatives.
representatives? I mean, it seems like this is awfully specific to us doing those things. I mean, I have said, I think this is a great concept, but there aren't a lot of specifics, and I don't want to give, if we have any authority, I'm not ready to give it away, I guess.
We have no authority, other than.
So why are we
appointing-
even doing this? I mean,
Well,
are we-
because we
So
have
why is
to.
this in front of us?
We have, once that board is appointed, we don't have any authority over. it.
So that's back to my
That's,
original question.
So, the only thing you can do is they represent, the people we put there, represent and look out for Canton Housing Authority. And
So we've
if we.
in essence, acceded our or conceded our
Yeah,
authority to them.
yeah. HUD's made it very clear that
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
Right.
I mean, I've gone back and forth with HUD over the years. They
So-
won't even, I mean, you have to get the right person that HUD to even talk to. Because they won't even talk to you.
Right.
Oh,
That's,
So-
that's the frustrating part, because I have tried.
yeah, no, I
And,
know.
and if you have a good management staff down there, that's what makes it all work.
No, obviously, the better it is locally, you can.
But
Right.
the process can't start until we agree to allow it to start.
So, in that case, can we change the wording of this resolution to suggest that we're willing to agree to allow it to start? Without saying, we agree to support it, and that we, we permit we permit the merged housing authority to function in its own jurisdiction, and we agree to complete all merger actions. That's the piece that feels very final to me. And I do have some concerns that I would like to make sure are represented in whatever the final product is. I think this might be a very good thing.
But
But-
doesn't the last paragraph say that?
I'm not clear what the last paragraph means, to be honest. I read it several times and, you know,
The said contract is to be for such consideration amounts, terms and conditions as the Village of Canton Board of Trustees deems most advantageous to the Village of Canton and within the scope of the Board of Trustees authority. So
Are we doing,
any contract that comes out of this, we have to agree that it's advantageous for us.
even if that would mean not completing all merger actions
I-
as required by HUD? I mean,
right, like,
It
It
seems
has
like-
to, I believe that is the piece that says we have to be happy.
You think that the last sentence or two,
The last
yeah,
paragraph.
last paragraph.
the
Do you
last
do have it in
paragraph.
front of you?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and I heard him, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I believe does that.
Is this,
Does Scott agree that that's from a
Okay.
legal standpoint?
On the earlier issue, which is more independent counsel, I think this would be a question that you want to ask a different attorney. Because if I'm here, also sitting here as representative of both Canton Housing Authority and the Potsdam Housing Authority that are advocating for this, you want somebody to tell you this is properly answering the question.
Is this the precise wording that Preston has?
Yeah.
Last week.
but is this wording given to us by HUD? Like, does it have to be this wording?
I can't tell you that, I think that the housing authority developed this, both housing authorities developed it. And I believe Scott was involved in that in some
draft it.
form or another. But he
Did not
reviewed
draft
it. But he reviewed it. And I did talk to Scott about it, and it's the exact wording that they.
One of the things that I noticed about the, Housing Authority Board's contract or resolution was that it basically said that it was basically within the context of continuing the management of the Canton Housing Authority by the Potsdam Housing Authority. In the context of that resolution was the statement that said that the Housing Authority Board is exploring the possibility of a merger. Therefore, we're keeping the status quo, basically, keeping the management as is. So it seems to me from reading that, this is still exploratory on the housing authorities behalf too. Like, they,
They both agreed to move forward with this, and that was the first step. They each signed the same document,
right,
and that's what I
Wow.
provided.
I'm not comfortable with this. I would not be able to vote for it. I don't wanna stand in the way, but I wouldn't do it. I think I want to know that that our board has the ability to say, whoa, wait a minute, this is not okay. Canton doesn't, village residents don't have the representation that they need. Or that, you know, it has occurred to me, like, this language about the jurisdiction, like its own jurisdiction, does that mean that they could decide to take it out of Canton altogether? And what if, you know, what if that happened? Like, I just want to know that those are not the things that are, you know, going to happen as a result.
I don't see that that's any of the intention in any of this.
I don't
and
either.
I don't think that that's, you know, as I said, the last piece in that, I think, is what gives us the ability to, make sure that our
So
terms and
what's the
conditions are met.
mechanism by which something, like, when are they gonna come back to us and say, okay, here, we've worked it out?
It's
now
all the
so-"
it's all the legislation that ends up getting filed with the state of New York that creates this. It's all written in the legislation.
But are we
So-
privy to that prior to it being submitted to the state of New York? And is,
Yeah,
that's,
Yeah, and then that's what the line.
They're gonna have to come to us and
Yes,
say,
and that's
here's
what
the
the line says.
legislation.
That's what that, in my opinion, that's what it says.
it's just a general statement. I mean, I think we're going on good faith. None of us here think that anybody's a bad
No,
person on either
no,
board at all,
absolutely
but
I
It-
don't
it-
know what it would take them to, you know, at this point, you to vote for it.
so,
Because I think that, in my mind, that's fairly clear.
so I know that, I know people, we talked about this a bit, but how, if we consulted another attorney, I mean, we had new language potentially, does it have to be the same language that custom process?
I don't know why we wouldn't want it.
If there are concerns and if we got another opinion and they suggested a tweak in this, could we pass something that is slightly different from what custom passed?
Don't know. So you have a
It's
choice.
just- No, I mean, it's just reconciling we agree to complete all merger actions with the last paragraph, which, yes, that makes it seem like, but, you know, what if those things are not the same? So if we got a second opinion and got it within the next week, and then we got it back, you know, do we have to do this in person?
I don't have another attorney yet to go to. So I have to go through the process of hiring an attorney, your approval of hiring. And then go through the review. And we have to vote for it at one of our meetings.
So it has to be in person.
And again, I don't know if Potsdam will agree. This is a mutually agreed upon process. And, I don't know what their questions were. I just know that they passed the test.
Do we have any sense, say we pass this, like, do we have any sense about next steps and what the process is after this and when we would be consulted and how that would all go? I mean,
All I can say is that the board members that were here to discuss it with us last month, that would have been certainly the time to talk to them about that, those concerns, because they were here to answer that and how the process.
But I do think that, I mean, now that we have this next step and our questions about this, there
Will you, everybody questions, right?
Well, I
Well,
think
right, I mean,
this has
after
been,
we have had some
Exactly.
time to, you know, we heard the presentation, we've had time to review the stuff, I mean,
And I did ask about.
but
specifically
I
about
also got
road
all this stuff,
creation,
this stuff was out to you. Well ahead of our meeting.
But, my concern then was how would the board be treated and how the representation.
Yeah, I thought we answered that. But it'll be included in what we do. That's all I can give you.
right.
You know, if you don't wanna move this forward, we don't move it forward. And I'll tell them that, you know, we're not interested at this point, we need some clarification.
I don't think
we're
it's
not
not
interested.
interested,
That's
that's not.
Well, I
that's
think that,
not-
Fair representation, I am very much in
And so am
favor
I.
of the concept,
100%.
but I just, if we have any authority, I'd like to preserve it. And that thing, the line about agreeing to complete our merger action makes me feel like we're giving away the store there.
well,
And
but
that's
how do you
where the-
reconcile it with the last paragraph?
Well, that's the
Well,
point, then you got
that's the
two
point. I
conflicting
don't
things,
know
how
how
do you
to-
reconcile? And who
What does it
decides
mean?
that?
Well, Scott isn't gonna give us an opinion on
I
that.
know.
And, I believe he felt that this was appropriate for what needed to happen to make this forward. The only thing we can do is I can look to hire another attorney, seek an opinion. We'll have to have that done at another meeting. I'll have to have that attorney attend and then discuss. That's the only thing I can do. So, I'll table it for now.
And do we have to have an attorney be here to discuss it?
Well, you have questions. So, whoever we hire will have to come and listen to what your concerns are. I don't know another way to do it.
Let's put your questions in writing. Ask for it. Whether that's gonna be enough.
I don't know.
to be no attorney.
I think you're gonna have to have somebody sit here and, you ask a question. I think you should get, Bob here. Another board member from, chairman of the board from Canton. Housing Authority.
And I think people are, I mean, in this camp, like, we have had major challenges on our, and I think that what we're trying to do is make sure that the process goes and protecting. And again, nobody thinks that there's any ill
Well,
will, any.
Not
The-
approach to
I
the
think
concept,
that
I
the
think it
major-
could be very good.
I
The
think
major
it's-
challenges we've had down there in South, what we've
Sure.
seen them do to find a new executive director.
Is
Because
it
we
possible?
don't have. Once it, HUD has a lot to say about how this, so all I can tell you, because I've dealt with them, and it's the most frustrating thing you could ever do.
Well, case in point is this right here, we're being asked to. We're told we don't have any authority, but also give it. We have the authority to say permit or not, so which is it? What authority do we have?
You had the authority to create the Canton Housing Authority. Once it was created by legislation,
Mhm.
appointed the board members,
Mhm.
they were on their own.
And then turn it back on.
And
I understand.
do we have the,
We don't know.
And
who writes
I-
the legislation? Is it the housing authority or is it somebody in the state?
sure I don't know, I can't answer that.
It would have to be the legislature.
It's done by
right?
legislation. That's all I can tell you. I will tell
You
you
know, it's
that
what-
talking to HUD,
I-
it's like talking to that wall.
I know, I know
And,
this.
I have done everything in my power to try to help people down there. People that can do that is the board. You're the only ones. If you don't, and the other issue you have is that the executive director fights with the board, executive director.
We know that,
So,
Wherever.
what I will, that's the way that works. It's just the way,
And I think that that's where the preservation and making sure that we have people voicing their two.
once that's established, it's done.
Right.
Look for another attorney, it's stable. Okay, moving on, new business. Motion to authorize, payment of vouchers and transfer
So
funds.
moved. Second. Thank you, Sarah. Hannah.
Okay, next is to accept the resignation of Joe Mastro effective April 7th.
Unfortunately.
In favor? Any opposed?
Yes, we. Was very good in terms of being here the short time that it was, but.
Next item is village response to the Rich Road Solar Project. I couldn't go to the meeting that you went to because I was tied up. Attorney involved, Bill Buchan. Both the town and village are required to deal with solar projects, specifically the Rich Road Solar Project. Working on putting together a response to permit application, 90-day response once the permit was issued. Due date for comments on that is coming up. We're working on comments for that. There's also a public hearing scheduled.
The 7th, I believe.
That I think it was worth. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Best Western. And the other thing that we've done also provide a comment about fire protection and water supply for the solar project. Well, that's not in the village, it affects the village. We have the water.
We have the water and the firefighters.
And the fire protection, so. Is that just about the
Yes.
capsule of what you wanted to?
Yeah, and I think just to, sort of get it out there, it is a public comment period, so members of the public will be welcome to bring forward concerns or not.
The only thing I'll say is the state of New York is really interested in this.
Yes, they are.
It's like, freight train coming through. So we have a couple things that we can probably, focus on,
Yeah,
so. And fire protection. Contribution, what it's gonna take to protect that. The whole lithium battery storage issues.
that's a good word for it.
Anything else though?
No, thank you. I think that was the point.
Next item is approved travel for the NICOM annual meeting in May. No, Anna is going, wants to go. Barb,
I
you
think
decide where you.
I might cancel, but I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, because you have to make some reservations.
No,
You have to back out with each.
I think, one of these days, I gotta go see it, but I'm gonna conference. What are the dates?
So
The 13th and something.
I think like a 14th to the 16th.
It's May 15th through 17th.
Where is it?
Huh?
It's in.
Where is the NICOM meeting?
It's about, it's a very cool spot.
So any, permission, we need to approve travel for the NICOM meeting.
I make a motion, we approve it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Well, you know what?
John can go, you know.
Jonathan, go too.
Okay, all in favor? We got that.
Yes.
We got it.
I was asked to put on the purchase of another, owl. An expansion microphone shared with the town.
Yes, thank you. So the Communications and Technology Committee, based on a request from the supervisor, took a look at an additional owl, because this one, there've been a few conflicts in terms of it also cannot be in two places at one time.
Simultaneous meetings.
So we went and we took a look at, I mean, honestly, we did look to see if there were other things besides an owl. But this seems like the best, this is what there is. There's also, this most recent generation of owls, apparently also come with something, you can get something called an expansion mic, that extends, another, gives us more feet. How many feet? 8 feet, another 8 feet. That will be especially useful downstairs, where when, we have joint meetings or larger meetings, and, we have, a recorder on one end, it does not pick up what is happening on the other end. So, the total cost there, if you buy the new owl with an expansion mic, the total cost, I believe I said it was $1,198, split into, in half. The town approved their half of the purchase at their meeting a week ago. So I hope you all approve that too, I guess, is the moral of the story.
Yes.
Yeah, I move that we purchase.
Second,
Second.
further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
How's it working for you, Jonathan?
Sorry if it's delayed.
The next item, is gonna be table,
Yes.
We just need to do it.
Thank you.
Decision
a
making.
little more tweaking.
Well,
Yes.
we've got to decide. We'll get there.
Okay, G, appoint Megan Richardson, permanent recreation director. We got the results of it. So
Not at all.
how should get the high score then? We're trying to fail. You gotta be a
Didn't put your
Megan.
name at the top of the page and it didn't work out.
You have to be a Megan to work here. Or Scott. A certain need. Megan, has successfully completed, she's top on the list. With her engaged in probation, she's done her own.
You, huh?
Isn't civil services?
So I need a motion,
So moved.
second. One of them was the second. In favor, you wanna talk about it anymore?
Aye.
In favor.
So come on, let's roll.
Okay, special board meeting to review the MOU with Jewel Power. You asked me,
Yes.
that's one of the things we have to do.
That is one of the things, so, we do not have to attend a meeting tomorrow, apparently, but, we need to have a special board meeting between March 27th and April 5th to review the MOU with, Dual Power, which, at that point, there are several selections that we have to make. We need to select the,
So we're talking about next week,
yes, we are.
the end of next week.
Well, the 27th is Wednesday, it doesn't have to be.
It's. Yeah.
So the things that we need to, talk about, we will need to make a selection of the term of the agreement. the product type, whether it's 100% renewable, 50% renewable, which is actually 100% renewable, but it's not 100% recognized by New York, or conventional.
But it's true.
Yeah. And then the rate type. So do we want fixed? Do we not? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the board needs to make those decisions within that defined time. That also gives the mayor the authority to when, the fixed pricing, not fixed pricing, final pricing comes in, I want to say April 15th. April 11th. That we would be giving him the authority to act on behalf in that decision, because there isn't time to get us all together. This is.
Would it be possible, or would I be to just do it on well, once the hordes are gone. No, I mean, in that sense, it's just not another day.
It is days before.
Just so you know, yes, including myself. I leave on Thursday.
I can do 6 p.m.
I mean, it just saves it. It's a random,
What?
He just walked away.
Is that an editorial comment?
What's the date you want to do that meeting?
Pick a date.
Well, in that time frame, I can do Thursday and Friday this week, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
It has to be the 27th, between the 27th to the regulatory date.
I'm sorry, I wrote down the sentence.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's my fault. Whatever.
So the 27th is the day you're available.
Barely.
I mean,
Yep. Theoretically. Theoretically.
I can do the 27th of March, correct?
Yes,
Without
of
me?
March.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then do whatever. I mean, I will be here the 27th, and that is the day I can be here.
March 27th for a special meeting. What time?
so, I mean, 6 p.m. would be after. Would it be possible to put other things on that agenda? For example, if we could do the benchmarking resolution and because I think we are trying to move that forward. And hopefully the
possible.
RFP.
It's possible, but we have to have we have to announce the meeting
Right,
with what we intend to talk about.
right. That's
So
why I'm saying,
we have very little time to do that.
right,
How much time do you need to do?
7 days.
Oh, okay.
right. So
You have to-
that's
you
why
have to do it 7 days
I'm
before
saying, do we want
more?
to?
I think we have 7 days.
And they.
So
are
the
they-
announcement has to go out tomorrow.
Yes, this is Public Service Commission.
It's just a really random bet, like, it's Easter week. That's all.
We've done this and
We've done this
unfortunately,
like
we've
3
done it
times already.
repeatedly. Repeatedly, and there's no guarantee that we're even gonna get pricing that,
No,
No,
that-
yeah.
but we have to
that's
go
what
through
we
the
did.
this is what we did.
yeah.
Late summer.
Yes,
We're gonna copy the announcement,
We're
we're
gonna-
gonna change the date,
yep.
and we're gonna do it.
So
All right,
maybe we
whatever.
can make the meeting a little bit more productive and do a couple of the other things that we couldn't quite get to, I guess is
We
my
can for sure
proposal.
finish the benchmarking thing. I would feel
Right.
very confident if we put that on it, we will do it. And then there's the impetus to get it done.
And if we put the RFP on there and for some reason we don't, then we'll table it.
Wasn't there one more thing?
No?
Okay.
Those 3. Right? And I don't have
Yeah,
anything
okay,
else.
okay.
That's enough.
Mhm.
But if you're not gonna be here,
6 p.m. for that meeting, we said, or
Yeah.
6:30.
Thirty.
the public education portion of it begins at 5:30, but we were suggesting maybe 6 p.m. for the special board meeting.
Got it.
I mean, if this is exactly the same thing we've done like 2 or 3 times before. So
How
if you
many
need to do
people
it a
showed
different
up?
day. Because we've done it, right?
Yep.
So if you need to do it a different day and I'm not here, I'm just, there's no way I can do it.
Right. All I can tell you is that you wanna do the 27th, we gotta get the announcement out.
It's up to you guys. If you wanna do it a different day, I don't have to do that. I don't know.
I don't have any
That's what you wanna do? We're
strong
good?
preferences.
I just get it done.
Okay, then the 27th at 5:30 and 6. Okay, I need, next item is set a public hearing for the closeout of the CDBG grant. That public hearing should be added to our meeting in April. I don't think it's gonna take very long, just we gotta allow a few minutes for comment for the closeout of the grant.
Okay.
That just about hit the high
It
points.
says the purpose of the hearing is to hear public comments on the current CDBG project and the hearing will provide further information about the progress of the ongoing CDBG project, comments related to the effectiveness of the administration of the CDBG project are also received.
So that will be what the announcement will say.
Okay.
That will be the piece that will be in my agenda. 6:25, give you enough time. If it runs over, it runs over.
Perfect. I can't imagine it.
I mean,
Um,
hopefully we do have some folks that know what kind of, good that money has done in the community, because it has. So, that would be great.
Okay, what did I miss here? You had set the budget calendar. That was in the box, in your Dropbox. or,
Yeah.
in the-
Fresh pickup. Although that should go on the calendar too.
There'll be several meetings that we've scheduled one on top of the other, but it's just what it's gonna have to work.
I did have a dream that I missed. Schedule.
A dream or
A dream.
wishful
Like,
daydream?
no,
A
no, it
wishful
was
think-
kind of a nightmare. I'm like, oh my God, did I miss?
The
the whole
first,
thing? Yes.
April
The whole
3rd.
thing.
so the first, special meeting is scheduled for April 3rd at 5:30. The next one is April 9th at 5:30.
So it's Easter week and I'm out on the 3rd. But can I zoom in, I guess? I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, it needs to be done, right?
Well, we have to have a couple of these done, before the April 17th meeting,
The public hearing.
so we can do a public hearing on the 17th. And then the idea was to, have another special meeting on the 23rd, or any other adjustments that needed to be made. And then we'll pick the date for the final review and vote. Usually, and we've traditionally done that as a morning meeting. Things usually worked out. well,
Yeah.
So,
So. How do you wanna?
by, when are you leaving?
I leave on Thursday and I get back. I'm gone. It's I'll do whatever you need me to do.
Okay,
I mean, part of the issue has to do with we need to give clerk and the treasurer enough time to make changes in between our work sessions.
Right.
So that's part of you know, why they're spread out like this. I wonder if we did something like moved from to you know, from April 3rd to did like April 8th. You know, nobody likes a Friday, but you know, April 12th, you know, right? Like, could we do
April
that?
8th is a Monday.
And it is the eclipse if that matters.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
And we kind of shoehorned this in based on, what else is going on.
Okay.
There were some other scheduling problems
Okay.
for space.
Here, town board meeting.
Yeah.
and the Planning board.
So,
Okay.
we kind of shoehorned it in. You'll be back on the 2nd, right?
7th.
On the 7th. Oh, I thought you said the 7th.
Spring break for the school is the 29th to the 7th. It's a Friday too.
Well,
The 10th a possibility?
So, I mean, we don't have that. Right.
you can't do the 10th. You can't do the 10th.
Okay.
Town board meeting.
So the town board meeting in here or no?
It's in here.
Yeah, more. Yeah. Village planning board. Downstairs. Downstairs.
When will the binders?
As soon as I can get them done, but again, just me, Sharon's gonna be on vacation.
Right, for the same reason. Yep. So if we meet on the 3rd, I'm not gonna have a binder to look at.
Ship it to you.
You're gonna ship it to me?
Why not? Put it in a box and send it to you.
Media mail.
You can get it in June.
We'll send it to you.
Well, that's electronic. You can scan it in and send it.
That's the other possibility is scanned and electronic.
I guess do whatever we need to do, like. The whole week, but if it could get it, I don't know if it can be before then, so whatever. So what are the other dates?
Well,
The
it's the
9th
3rd,
and
the 9th, our monthly meeting's on the 17th, and then the 23rd.
So the 9th and the 23rd I can do, but I cannot do them before
7 a.m.
7. I'd be happy to do them at 7 a.m. I'm not able to, I'm not done teaching in back to Canton before 7. So that's the problem with cities for me. I can do it, it's just an hour and a half later than everyone I'm sure would like.
I can do 7 o'clock.
Tell me what I need to do. Yeah, I don't have a check.
What date was that? One more time at 7?
9 and 7, 9 and 23.
April 9th and April 23rd are both Tuesdays.
At 7 p.m. And the other one was April 23rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And currently, April 3rd is at 5:30.
Yes.
I had
if I am, is it illegal for me not to be there? If for some reason, like, if I'm zooming on a computer and I get it electronically, I guess it'll be fine. This is Zoom, right?
This
Yeah.
is Zoom.
Teams or anything.
No, it's Zoom. Will we need to move the public hearing up a little bit because we just set one for CDBG? No, okay.
We can do 6:15 and then we'll follow that with CBDG and then start our meeting.
Okay.
And then if you wanna wait on the meeting for final vote and, final review and vote, we can do that.
Probably as we get closer.
So, you know,
Whether-
whatever,
April
Very
30th,
or
my
not.
8 AM don't fill up as easily as mine.
You know,
6:30.
whatever you would, prefer, you know. As long as it's done before May 1st.
Yeah,
We
I
can
mean-
fill. After,
Yeah.
You know, we can add more. meetings with that.
right.
Okay,
Okay. All right, so 5:30 on the 3rd.
Mhm.
7 on the 9th.
Okay.
6:15 on the 17th.
Yep.
7 on the 23rd.
Yep.
8 AM TBD.
Later to be named later. Also have a new calendar.
Oh, yeah, that's,
okay,
Hopefully next year.
very good.
At least it won't fall when it is. Pretty bad.
So that makes K. Public hearing for the budget, we will,
To be honest.
no, it's on here. The
It
public
is.
hearing
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
it's
budget's
on
on
here.
here.
Yep, 7/17.
So we reviewed it, so we're setting the public hearing for the 17th.
Yes. Do you need a motion or?
yeah, I think so. Right? We have to
Mhm.
agree
Yes,
to that.
for that, yeah.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, for some reason, I did not put on the agenda and I meant to, and I also gave you, I sent it to you in the packet. It was the, amendment to a lease agreement
Yes.
for the tower. The reason I sent that and neglected, must have gotten confused with something here. The lease agreement for one of our towers is coming up. It doesn't expire until 2006, the end of 2006. These
26,
people love,
2026, right?
these people love to get going. But you will all have questions, I'm sure. And this is not unusual, this type of thing. The money that we receive from these, we try to keep them very similar. We usually bounce one against the other. Here, maybe you should be giving us this here. So it will include increases. All of our contracts include increases that can, on an annual basis. Sally has all the data on it, so. The only reason I wanted this out to you is to know that this was beginning. The last one we did with, the Verizon one. I didn't participate in it. Carol did.
No.
But that for obvious reasons. It's entirely. So I'll be involved in this. And Scott will be involved in it. And there'll be more to come on this. There's a few things that are a concern to me because it's on one of our water towers. And we want to make sure that we can build the water. They're gonna vacate. Well, they'll pay for a move. Or pay for, yeah,
Right.
we're gonna have. to
We
move.
don't want to come.
No, correct.
So those are. That was the only purpose for this being out there, for whatever reason, it didn't make the agenda. You're now. Public comment. Yeah.
Mayor, thank you. I'd just like to say I appreciate the fulsome discussion tonight of the housing authority. And I'm here to say that as a citizen, I have long experience with the housing authority. So, as such, I hope that further discussion can be had on the elements of that institution, which is a community resource. And in some ways, I liken it to the discussion about the school district and whether or not we would combine Tucson and Canton schools. Reasons for saying and reasons against, but I do appreciate the fact that we move that item from the future. It's not ready for planning.
Good. Anybody, any other comments?
Yeah. January. Important capturing biomass. Is that part?
I'm not sure what the reference to biogas is.
Apparently part of
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, there being none. I will entertain a motion to the executive session.
Second?
Any opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good, everyone.
We won't be a problem.
I'm sorry, I
Can you
Did your parents-
keep them in and dump everybody else?
Everybody else is fine.
Just keep. Well, you'd have to.